I remember watching Your Name in cinemas at the rear end of 2016. By that point, I had a foregone conclusion that La La Land was the best movie I'd seen that year. There was no way that a movie this late in the game would become my number one of 2016. But as soon as the first frame was canvassed on the big screen, I knew that this movie was going to be special. At the time when watching Your Name, I couldn't process why I began to fall for these characters or why the story tugged on my heartstrings. But by the end, I knew that Your Name was special and was going to be the best movie I'd watched in 2016. However, what I did not know was that it would take me another 3 years to revisit it. There have been multiple occasions to watch Your Name again, but I've always shunned it away. Even for this channel, I'd always wanted to make a video on it, but there was always this barrier in front where I couldn't get past my fear that Your Name was just this one-off movie that couldn't be enjoyed the second time. The first time I had watched Your Name, I was in awe of how good the movie was, and at that time in my life, it was pushing to be one of my favourite films of all time. So the chance to rewatch a movie that brought a lot of joy for the hour and 40 minutes I had with it was too scary to do. What happens if Your Name isn't as good as the first time? What happens if I dislike the movie? And what am I going to write about for this movie? These were the questions going through my mind before I watched Your Name for only the second time. It is a fear of mine that I go into rewatching a movie that I adore and realizing it is bad. Every time I rewatch The Dark Knight or Drive, I wonder to myself, is this the time I resent the movie I love? I know it is strange. So for me, it was only natural going into Your Name again that I would feel this weird, uneasy feeling that it would not live up to the first time I watched it. But Your Name for the second watch still holds that first time magic it sold me on when I viewed it in the cinema. It is a movie that is structured and crafted in a unique way that it stays with you longer. To tell a story about love that is transcended by time is not always appreciated, but this movie not only hit the chords with me, but for the rest of the audience as well. To say that Makoto Shinkai, the director of Your Name, used time as a gimmick would be an insult to him and his movie. The way he uses time is a warning about losing the things we love forever and to cherish or take charge of life situations. Second chances do not happen in our world, so we must live to our fullest in this world. But this isn't what I want to talk about when discussing Your Name, because everyone already knows this, which coincides with my second fear of watching Your Name. How do I write about it? This is one of my biggest fears when creating one of these analyses, because if I can't think of an idea for a video, then why would I think about an idea for another movie? To an extent, this has happened to me before. I had 2 attempts to make my Akira video because the first time was not me being true to myself and instead making excuses for the lack of an idea. That is why I had to make a second video. This was also similar to my understanding of Leorio and Kurapika video. I had previously made a similar one beforehand, but after a long time and reflection, I knew I could do better. This led me to bettering my old Hunter x Hunter video to make one that I could be satisfied with. I guess, just like the movie, I had the option of a second chance, but the idea of not having an idea still scares me. If I cannot find an angle or have my own thoughts about a movie, then why watch movies? The joy of watching movies and making these videos is to challenge myself and force myself to think critically about the art form. Not to just watch someone else's review and claim that as my own, but to find my own voice when it comes to cinema. I've had this feeling of being flummoxed a lot when writing video essays on movie or TV characters. Paprika was a nightmare to write because I would begin to write it, then rewrite it and rewrite it again, all to try and find my own angle and opinion. But it is that crazy process which allows me to find my voice. I find it difficult to have immediately formed my opinion about a movie just after I have finished it. I need a few days to understand and process what I have seen. To help with that process, I write about the movie. This helps me spill everything out on paper, allowing me to get rid of the junk in my head and form what I truly believe. Sometimes I would even use my time in the shower to map out what I think about a movie or TV show. For my understanding of Gon and Killua video, I would have a discussion with myself in the shower, trying to figure out what I was trying to achieve in my character analysis, which eventually guided me to the core of my argument. This takes me back to Your Name, and what I want to write about. Is it the characters I want to focus on, or the story? Is it the pacing or structure? When it comes down to writing, rarely do I have an idea before watching the movie. The most recent was for The Great Gatsby. Even before watching the movie, I had an idea for what the video would be about. All I needed was reassurance in what I believed. Writing my analysis for Jay Gatsby was one of the smoothest experiences in a very long time. This is also similar with Prisoners. I had an idea for a video, I just needed that assurance I was heading in the right way. But for most occasions, the flow of my piece truly comes together when I actually start writing. Yeah, thinking about it is good, but when I start typing away on my laptop, that's when the identity of the essay comes out. I didn't know what to write about when challenged with Patterson, and it wasn't my goal to write poems for that video. It was just the natural progression with what I was writing. The idea felt right to add my own poems into a video essay about someone writing poems. Just like Your Name, where things can take different courses, my videos halfway through writing can change from one opinion to the other. When writing about the red turtle, my original essay was about how the turtle manipulated the man and how she uses the man for her own selfless desires. But the more I began to watch clips of the man and the turtle who turned into a woman, the feeling of happiness swelled around me because I saw that the man was truly happy with his life. So, midway through writing about the manipulation of the turtle, I began to form an argument about why their love was special. In an instinct, an argument can be swayed just by a different viewpoint, and luckily for me, I saw another side to the red turtle. So, what to write about Your Name? You see, I am writing about Your Name, because without it, I wouldn't be able to talk about my other YouTube videos. The movie was a huge inspiration for me to continue with YouTube. Your Name inspired me to persevere with making videos and to keep on improving them. I was blown away with how a movie about a boy and a girl switching bodies could be crafted in a way that tells a beautiful story about love and perseverance. Just like how Taki and Misuwa are determined to see each other and stop the mass disaster of the comet, I was determined to make more YouTube videos. Before I watched Your Name for the first time, I had released a video on October 11th, 2016. After, I released a video on February 4th, 2017. It started a revolution for my young channel and I began to upload more frequently. All because I was inspired by Your Name and the power of its storytelling. If someone can make a movie like that, then surely I can just make a YouTube video. That was my mentality, and Your Name allowed me to make more videos and grow with confidence, and to now having my own voice on this platform. That is what Your Name means to me. It obviously won't mean the same to you. So I'm sorry if this video didn't answer your questions or break down the time travelling or explain Your Name, but I came out of the cinema with this feeling. I watched a movie about never giving up and persevering no matter the obstacles in front, because in the end your hard work will be rewarded, maybe now, maybe in a month's time, or 8 years' time. You just have to never give up. That's my understanding of Your Name. Now, what's yours?